Karel Roessingh on piano, Kelby MacNayr on drums, everyone. And I'm just realizing as I look over at Karel, I couldn't see you.
Yeah, I just put this down, yeah.
Okay, there we go. We can make eye contact now. Fantastic. All right, so welcome to Celebrate, everyone. To get things started, I'm going to invite everyone to stand on up. Who wants to stand? If you want to stay seated, go ahead. And please join us in our opening tune, One Big Family by Gary Lynn Floyd. Lyrics coming right there. All right, fantastic. So feel free to sing along, get your groove on. I know that Linda can really hold down this side of the room with the stepping and the clapping and the swaying. Linda, yeah? Okay. All right, and then, yeah, we're just going to open up in this incredible, amazing, vibrant way.
One, two, one, two, one.
Good one. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karel. Thank you, Kelby. Thank you, everyone, the VTC Community Choir in the seats here. Maybe some people joining us online. You're singing up a storm at home, too. However you are joining us, however you are feeling, whatever mood you are in, you are so incredibly welcome here. Thank you for being here. So I'm going to switch mics for just a sec. We are here at the Victoria Truth Center on a Sunday morning. The sun is streaming in through the windows. And yeah, today we all came a little bit earlier, right? Thank you, everyone, for turning your clocks ahead. And there's something in the back of my head that is saying that daylight saving time came about during World War II for some reason. Okay, I'm seeing a nodding head, great, and was only supposed to be temporary. Well, 80-ish years later, finally, that temporariness is observed. So we won't be falling behind in the fall, which is fantastic. So, woohoo, okay. Today is also International Women's Day, and so I just want to acknowledge that that is the case. Celebrate everyone who identifies as a woman, and just love and respect and honor and wisdom, and just really knowing that today is a day that we get to really stand in that incredible, amazing feminine power. So, thank you. Now, where are we? There is nobody new here today. These are all regular celebrators, and so I have an inkling that you know why you're here, at least in part. But I'm just going to offer a little spiel anyway, that we come together in this incredible, amazing place called VTC, in this center of spirit, which is also right here all the time within, to remember that there is only one thing going on. And whether we call it God, whether we call it spirit, source, creativity, the list goes on and on and on, whether we call it love, then what we are coming to do together, instead of doing it on our own at home or under a tree or wherever we might do it on our own, we're coming together in community to deepen that connection, to foster more awareness, to amplify that incredible, amazing awesomeness that we are at our core, that is the essence, the very foundation, the inception of everyone and everything. As I stand on this stage, I just can't help but notice the beautiful art, once again, that is here, courtesy of Shannon Holmes, who is a good friend of Linda Kane, that was hung up just a week and a half ago. And so if you haven't had a chance to take it in yet, please look around you, because there's some really cool stuff happening on the walls. Anyway, that is pure love expressing. That is creativity. That art, that beautiful, amazing imagination that is just splattered all over these canvases, that is who and what we are at our core. And whether it expresses as art, whether it expresses as the beautiful blue coat that Winnie was wearing today, that always makes me smile and feel good when I see her in it, whether it is, the technology that allows us to connect with people who aren't here in the room physically, but somewhere out, in the ethers, all of that is this energy, this creativity, this infinite potentiality is God expressing. And so if there's only that one thing going on, then it means that each and every one of us is that. So we're here to remember, we're here to show up, we're here to experience, we are here to embody that love, that source, that creativity more fully for ourselves, each other, and our world. So how does that sound and feel on a Sunday morning? Fantastic. So as we gather, let us also remember where it is that we are gathering. Excuse me, that we are on Lekwungen territorial land, on the land of the Songhees and Esquimalt nations, and we are so grateful and so very much appreciate and honor their profound reverence for the energies of these sacred spaces. What a blessing, gift, and privilege it is to be able to live and breathe and work and play and co-create on these sacred lands in the shared spirit of harmony, respect, and love. May our community uphold this legacy of care and interconnectedness that the Lekwungen peoples have and continue to embody in all that we learn and manifest here. Heichka. So now we're going to move into a reflective tune, switching mics, which is an opportunity for all of us to turn our attention within, to really focus on who and what we are at our core, to really deepen that connection and understanding that we have of who and what we are at our core. And if that means that you want to just close your eyes and listen and receive and tune in, feel free. But if you would like to sing along, then the lyrics are up on the screen, and I invite you to do so as well. Just take a sip of some water. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and good. As I continue walking in this mystery, I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. So just taking a few moments to surrender. To surrender this one incredible, amazing now moment in which this opportunity to simply open up to who and what we are so fully, so intentionally, so purposefully is always present. To accept this invitation that is always on the table. To allow ourselves to experience and more fully embody the love that we truly are. This is what is available to us every single moment of every single day. And so as we move through the rest of our time together during today's Celebrate, I am knowing that there is that in each and every individual present, whether in person, online, right here, or at some other point in time, that is already opening up just a little bit more, is allowing that surrender to occur, to open up to the infinite possibilities of who and what we can be from one now moment to the next. And so as I allow my own body to soften, as I allow myself to be breathed and loved and known into being, I am knowing that as I surrender, that I can only express more fully as the love I am, as that beautiful, amazing, divine, energetic flow that is the very beingness and interconnectivity of everyone and everything. And as I know this beautiful beautiful, profound truth for myself. I know it for everyone and everything in our VTC community and beyond. So for all of the love that is being surrendered to, for all of the love that is flowing more freely, I simply release my word as law, knowing that today's celebrate is the most beautiful and loving celebrate yet. So I release, I let go, and I bask in this brilliant and luminous flow as together we affirm, and so it is. So just hanging out in that frequency, at that level of consciousness, that openness and surrender for just a few more moments, allowing ourselves the opportunity to bring into our hearts and into our collective consciousness anyone we feel could do with some affirmative prayer or some spiritual support. And so whether it is someone we know, whether it is someone we don't know, I invite us all to bring those people, those beings, those beloveds into our hearts, knowing that right here, right now, all that we are doing collectively is focusing on the wholeness, allness, and wellness of everyone. I invite everyone to receive a gentle cleansing breath in and release. And when you're ready, gently open your eyes. Thank you for your consciousness, for the love that you are, for your presence. And now we're going to shift gears as I switch mics and talk a little bit about our theme of connection, which is the second pillar on our VTC ValYous Compass. And the affirmation or pillar statement to go with this theme is, we nurture relationships and curate experiences to cultivate wholeness. And so you can stay seated for this. If you'd like to stand, please feel free. But what I'm going to invite is all of us to just open up to what this statement is feeling like, how it is informing us right here, right now. Is this something that you agree with? Is this something that feels good? Is this something that maybe you want to aspire to a little bit more? And after you've had a few moments to really hone in on whatever it is that is jumping out at you or stirring some things up in you, then we're going to declare it together, however enthusiastically you want to declare it, okay? So I invite everyone to receive a breath in. And here we go. We nurture relationships and curate experiences to cultivate wholeness. All right. So how is that landing for people? Is it something that feels good? I see some nodding heads. I see some curiosity. Now is the time where if anyone wanted to share something and bring it into community about connection, about this affirmation, or anything that you are feeling right now and would like to share, then now there's an opportunity to do so. We have time for 1 or 2 brief shares. And I have the mic at the ready. Linda.
My lovely, lovely father-in-law passed away at the age of 97 plus. And the whole experience was, you really figure out what relationships he had, the people that he touched. And so when we had the celebration of life at Luther Court, where he'd lived for 11 years, he'd been at the Heights for 9 months, but we had it there. I spoke, the chaplain spoke, some residents spoke, the 3 different staff spoke, a couple of neighbors spoke, and everybody had these different stories about different parts of, how he was with them as a neighbor, coming over with the tools and, sitting in the lobby and welcoming everybody. And it was sort of a combination of learning about the relationships he had and the experiences that he'd had in his life, and our friends came and talked about things that they knew about him. And then it's also been how, my sister's been, come over for dinner, our friends are saying, are you ready to socialize yet? And other our friends and our family who've been, what do you need? What do you need help with? And, sharing their stories about him. And it's just been this whole circle of love and it's been a privilege to been, part of his life for 44 years.
Wow. Oh, thank you, Linda. That is so beautiful. So many connections in so many ways, all because of this one individual. Yeah, thank you. All right, time for one more brief share if someone has something. Kay. Welcome back, Kay.
Okay, so during meditation, I was telling Kathy, I fell asleep like 3 times. But in the beginning of it, it was really funny because I was thinking of authenticity, and what popped in my brain is from the 80s, the Care Bears.
Okay.
And how they had like that, the who they were right on the outside and how they activated in that. And with this, talking about relationships, and every time there was a bad guy or anything like that, they came together with their Care Bear stare. Yeah. And it's when they all activated in who they were all together that the evil was taken over or the things were changed. And so it's like when we are who we are supposed to be and we are with people who are the same in who they are, not the same as we are, that we're able to activate all of that and become whole. And that's how we walk in healing and love.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Amazing. So what I'm hearing is that we all have the power within us to shower who and what we truly are out into the world. And when we do it together in community, that we amplify that and we get to experience our wholeness more fully. I'm not a Care Bear aficionado by any stretch, but yes, at least I know who they are. So Care Bear stare. All right, thank you, everyone. Those are 2 very beautiful shares. Really appreciating that coming into community. And so what I'm going to offer is we still have over half of our month to lean into what does connection mean for us? What does community mean for us? That was the big question last week. And what does our affirmation or our pillar statement for connection mean? Are you standing there because you wanted to share something? I was just going to get to that. So thank you, everyone. And now, gentlemen, if you would like to go and sit down, please feel free because there won't be music for a while. Okay. So we had our 4th Exploring the Practice of Prayer class yesterday, and it continues to be such a neat exploration into affirmative prayer from my end and relational prayer from Sherry Morgan. The conversations that are coming, the curiosities, the questions, the connections that are being made, it's just, for me, class is where the magic happens. In conversation is where stuff gets integrated and processed and metabolized, and it is just so cool to see what happens throughout the class and how people are walking out, from the last class compared to when they walked in during the first one, even if it's just a 5-week thing, which is what we're doing now. And so one of the things that I did in preparation for yesterday's class that completely shifted the focus of my class 15 minutes before we were walking out the door to come here yesterday is I watched, there was a video, and I think I referred to this at least once, if not at a Celebrate and an Elevate a few months back. There was an Instagram or a Facebook post by Zach Bush being interviewed by someone, and he was talking about authenticity and the frequency of authenticity. And it was such a cool video. It was so interesting. And so I thought, I want to see where the entire conversation came from. And so I watched The Way Forward with Alex Zek podcast. And the particular episode that the snippet came from was called Coming Home, Healing the Chronic Disease of Separation with Dr. Zach Bush. And it was so cool because Zach Bush is not only a doctor, but he's also a farmer. And he also is very open spiritually. He's into the Kabbalah, and he has a whole bunch of other things that he's really interested in. But what he really talked about in many, many different ways is the interconnectivity of everyone and everything, and that there is no separation, there is no duality, that we are all part and parcel of each other, of this energy that is the essence of everyone and everything, and of nature. And so nature isn't separate from us. It's not something that we get to sort of be like, wow, isn't that flower beautiful? Isn't that mountain awesome? Like Emerson said in his essay, Nature, we are nature, and nature is us. And so we don't need to be in awe of something that we are, because we're seeing something and recognizing something that already exists within us. So there were a few quotes that came out of this interview with Alex Zek that I wanted to share. And the first one is, when you start projecting gratitude and love, you actually change the frequency of the plants. Thank you. The frequency of the plants, of growth factors, the way roots are expressing themselves. The human is playing a role in the ecosystem. And to me, what this means is everything's connected. And so it's just totally in keeping with our theme for the month. And so back to our prayer class yesterday morning, one of the themes that we're talking about is connection. Connection in terms of what are we connecting with, which I don't even like to use the word with because it sounds like there's something separate. So I feel like, what are we tuning into more fully or more intentionally? How are we becoming more aligned as love, as source, as God? And then there is with others, how are we recognizing the love in Mary, in Trisha, in this community that is evolving? How are we championing that love in others? And then how are we championing and amplifying the love in the world, the connection that we share with every single creature and critter and every single aspect of this planet and beyond? How are we nurturing and fostering those connections? And so some of the ways that we keep talking about it is through gratitude and love and joy. Gratitude or appreciation. We've discerned the differences between gratitude and appreciation. And really what it comes down to is it's just, what are you feeling and what state of being are you embodying? And so for some people it's gratitude, for some it's appreciation. But ultimately it's not something that you need to be. You don't have to be for something. So there doesn't have to be something you need to be grateful for. It's just, I am appreciating the sunshine. And the way that I'm appreciating is I feel joyful. I feel expanded. I feel connected. I feel anchored in the knowing that that sunshine is bringing warmth. It is bringing light. It is connecting me with the outside. It is making me feel good. That's what I'm appreciating. So Gratitude, appreciation, love, and joy raise frequency. And like what Zach Bush just said in his thing, the more that we practice love and gratitude, the more we amplify and affect everyone and everything around us, that love and joy and appreciation that already exists in everyone. And so my question, which came up because of something that happens later in the interview, is what if our insistent focus on gratitude, love, and joy meant we were missing out on a crucial aspect of connection, of experiencing our true nature, our inherent wholeness? Because so often, I would say like 99% of the time, in New Thought and in other philosophies and in other ways of thinking, the ideal is to feel peaceful and joyful and happy and connected and in love, aligned all the time. And if we don't, then we're not. If we don't, then we're not connected. If we don't, then we're not aligned. Then maybe there's something wrong with us or we're doing it wrong or whatever. And my question, my curiosity, and my perspective is, if there's only one thing going on, then all of it is all of it. And that means the sweet, the sour, and everything in between. So whether we feel happy and glad and joyful and are grateful for things and are moving along through life feeling like we're in the flow, or we are feeling angry or sad or fearful or hopeless or whatever else isn't, from the happy category, the positive category, that all of that is God expressing. All of that is love expressing. Because if spirit, God, love, whatever you want to call it, is fulfilling itself in, through, around, and as us, if this energy, if this creativity is unleashing itself in all of these incredible ways, then it's unleashing itself and experiencing itself in the myriad of emotions and feelings and experiences that we as humans, with our minds, with this level of consciousness and these bodies, can have. And so what I am curious about and what I want to invite people into is it okay to be angry? Is it okay to be sad? Is it okay to feel grief? Is it okay to feel like, I don't know how, I'm not worthy, and still know that you're God? And still know that you're love, and still know that you are experiencing wholeness in some form. And I'm not here to say yes or no, or this is the answer, because I'm really inviting all of us to open up to, what does that mean? What's that stirring up for me? And some of you may totally disagree with me. And some of you may be like, oh my God, finally, someone is saying what I've been thinking for so long, and then something in between. Because infinite possibilities, right? So yesterday's topic ended up being authenticity. And all of this stuff ended up coming up because this snippet that came into my purview probably about 6 months ago at this point, and then I saw it again when I was in Nashville at the live event at the beginning of February, was about authenticity. And so when Zach Bush was talking about it, then what he talked about was, he said that there was this experiment that was done, I don't know where the hypothesis was that gratitude and love and joy were the highest frequencies, that they emitted the most energy when people experienced them. And so what they did, the researchers did, was they built a Faraday cage, and then people would go into this Faraday cage so that it was a pure electromagnetic field. That's as sciencey as I'm going to get with this. And then they were encouraged to tell stories of happiness and connection and love and joy and gratitude. And the energy that was emitted from them was measured. And then they were invited to tell stories of hopelessness and anger and fear and sorrow and that kind of stuff. And their energy was measured. And there was this inconsistent thing that happened, that every now and then, 40 times more energy would burst out of the person, even if it wasn't love or gratitude or joy. But it wasn't always a specific emotion. It wasn't always, as the person was in a specific state, and it just was inconsistent. And so after this happened numerous times, one of the researchers said, maybe we should shift our focus, and maybe what we should do is we should measure authenticity. And so what they did was they shifted whatever they had to shift, and then they started measuring authenticity. And sure enough, what they realized, what they discovered, was that it could have been love and gratitude and joy, or it could have been fear and hopelessness and anger and sadness and any of that stuff, which is not in alignment with all this other good stuff, that would emit 40 times the energy. And the other cool thing that happened was that as this extra energy was being emitted, the researchers and observers were getting goosebumps. So there was this energetic connection that they felt. And then when the people were telling stories of love and gratitude and joy, and they were in their authenticity, then that love and gratitude and joy was measured 40 times higher than the other love, gratitude, and joy, which was already pretty high. This is so interesting and fascinating to me because for my 7 years in consciousness studies, it was like there was this ideal, this bar of this is the way you got to show up in the world. This is the way you got to feel, and if you're not, then there's something wrong with you or you're not doing it right. And so as someone who went into ministry, that was my thing. I was called to ministry, so I took all these courses and followed this path so that I could become a minister. And the thing that happened for me, and I have talked about this before, is that in those last 3 months of ministerial studies, as I was almost crossing the finish line, I was bawling my eyes out. I was sad. I was frustrated. I was angry. I was sorrowful. All of this stuff was coming up, and I'm like, what is going on? But I felt like I don't want to cross the finish line with any of this stuff. I got to get rid of it. And then I ended up stepping up into this role as spiritual director, and what I can offer is, and these have been some of the scariest times for me, is the times where people have come up to me and said they felt most connected was not when I was espousing words of wisdom and insights, specifically from a love and joy and gratitude kind of place or vibe, but when I was standing here crying on the stage, or when I was sharing something so personal and so vulnerable that it took me many months or a year and a half or whatever to get the courage to say it, because that's not the kind of training I had. The kind of training I had was very different. It was like, you are at the front of the room, you are on the stage to inspire people, and this is the way you do it. And yet, I see people arriving tired. I see people arriving feeling broken. I am in connection and community with people constantly who are like, I just want to have permission to feel the way I feel and not have to try and shift to something else. And so the other thing that came up, and I think I did talk about this last week, was that last week the topic was about safety. And that safety, signaling safety to the body, can be such an important bridge from this is how I'm feeling and I'm not quite sure how to get from here to here. Because when we signal safety to the body through various nervous system resetting exercises, when we are allowing our body to recognize and realize that, oh, it is totally 100% safe to feel this way, that it's not a threat, that we have it in us to move through this, whatever it is that we are doing, that signals the body that it's okay to not only experience this, but to move through it, to surrender, so that ultimately you can open up to the experience of love, gratitude, and joy. Now, I'm not saying that that's the case for everyone, but there's a lot of people out there, and I have had the personal experience, especially after the collision, when I was not able to pray. I was not able to pray because I wasn't able to use this part of my brain because it was bruised and inflamed. And so I relied on other people who could pray for me, and the thing that I had to do was get into the body and remind my body that I was okay, that even though it felt horrible, even though I knew that there were lessons and insights that were come at some point, that this entire experience was a gift. I know that because of my studies. I know that because I know who I am, but I still needed to feel what I was feeling instead of bypassing it, sweeping it under the rug, and going, it's all good, it's all God, right? So true connection lies in authenticity. Authenticity is rooted in safety and trust. And by signaling safety first, we create opportunity to more authentically embody the wholeness of being. And not just like our being. I mean, that's important because we're each having our unique individualized experiences as love, as God. but we're also in community. We're in community all the time. Even when we're on our own, we are in community with energy that is whirling and swirling around us, with nature when we're in nature. And even though someone might not be sitting right next to us, we are always in community with everyone and everything. And so it is so important for us to really tune into what is authentic and true for me right here, right now. Because if we ignore it and we think that I should really be feeling this way because that's the way that I've been told, then we are ignoring this incredible, amazing experience to grow, to experience resiliency, to really, really anchor ourselves in the knowing that no matter what is happening, no matter the circumstances that I might be caught up in, no matter all the stories that I tell, the thoughts, beliefs, everything that have gotten me to this now moment right here, right now, there is that in me that is bigger and more powerful and more creative and more resilient than all of that put together. And the way that we access that is through being authentic, through loving ourselves, through being kind and compassionate, through doing our nervous system resetting practices, and eventually then allowing ourselves to surrender to the experience and not labeling it good or bad, because it's not. We are the ones making the meaning. We're the ones giving the context. And if we allow ourselves the opportunity to really, truly recognize that there is gift and opportunity in everything, even the most challenging of experiences, even if we don't recognize it in the moment, to just trust that it'll be revealed when we're ready, that to me is a life well lived. That to me is experiencing wholeness in every now moment, the best that we can. So in the end, trying to feel gratitude, love, or joy when you're feeling anything but will likely cause resistance, confusion, and suffering, and the body will shut down due to perceived threat. Taking a moment to pause, give ourselves permission to be present for and curious about what we're thinking or feeling while signaling safety to the body gives our nervous system a chance to regulate, the body to relax, and allow for a genuine shift towards gratitude, love, and joy. And all of that is the authentic experiencing and expressing of wholeness. And so I just want to leave you with one more quote by Zach Bush. Your soul doesn't have emotions. Your soul is authentic. Thank you, and so it is. All right. Well, my apologies. I yammered on a bit long there. But still, it's time for some conscious connection. And so if you would like to get into groups of 3 or 4 or whatever works for you, for those of you who do. For those of you who don't, that's totally okay. Just go outside, get some sunshine on your skin and in your eyes. But for those who do want to unpack something, then please, there will be about 7 minutes of conscious connection. Oh, I didn't do the title of the talk. I forgot. That's okay, yeah, flip it. It's the super cute one, too. All right, everyone, come on back. And as everyone is coming back, I'm going to hand the You Are Beautiful blessing box to Trisha. All right, grab yourself a blessing or affirmation to add to your collection. And then I'm also going to call up to the front. Come on down, Barb McLaughlin. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. All right. All right, so I have invited Barb. Barb, are you able to come up here? Would you prefer to be down there?
Be like the queen and ask if everybody can see me down there.
All right, let's bring you closer to the middle. All right, there we go. Okay, so I have asked Barb to come up, like Kathy came up last week, to talk about generosity and what generosity means to Barb.
Well, I really came up to talk about tithing.
Okay.
Because that's a big part of generosity for me, and it's a big part of what Kathy and I were talking about the other day, and just what comes with that. And there's a little book that the founder of the Truth Center created, Dr. Emma Smiley, called The Bread of Life. And I read that and once again wished I had met the woman, because she, in her own way, really had that particular spiritual concept down. And this is in addition to being wonderful for children and for other things she did. But I have always noticed, and I brought this in my pocket just because it made good sense. Oh, there I am. It made good sense. If I could only see. What may we expect from tithing? What will it do for us? What do we expect from paying the grocer? From the grocer, we expect bread and nourish our bodies. Well, you know what? It's exactly the same thing, and it always has been for me. When we give to the place that helps us to grow spiritually, I do tithe, or I do give money to people who need my help. And I give that according to, and just because I feel like I've got so much, you can have a little of it. But to the church, it's an entirely different thing, or my spiritual growing place. It's an entirely different prospect. I not only gain in the nourishment that the community gives us, but there's one special ingredient that I really value, and I mean this in the purest sense of the word value. Money, 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 money. When I tithe, very simply, when I tithe, I make it to the end of the month and more. Very simple principle. When I don't tithe, it's a bit squishy. But it's as simple a principle as that. When I give of my own beginnings to a place where I gain so much from you, from the musicians, whom I love very much and respect, from all of you, I give to make sure we're still here for sure, but also, and most importantly, I give for myself. And that's what, to me, tithing is all about.
Thank you so much, Barb. Watch your step. Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to be calling on other people to share why it is that you give, why giving and generosity is important to you. So, right now I'm holding out the abundance bowl. It is making its way around the room these days rather than sitting off to the side so that we can all spend some time with it, so that we can all offer an intention, whether we are putting in something physical or not, but an intention for abundance and prosperity for ourselves and for our community. Okay, so I'm going to hold this as we all declare this generosity affirmation together. In gratitude I give, in gratitude I receive. By embracing generosity with enthusiasm and delight, I celebrate the infinite possibilities of living life lovingly, and so it is. And so now I pass the abundance bowl to you. Thank you, Winnie. All right, next slide, please. So now as the abundance bowl is making its way around, we get to really embody spirit and the feeling of generosity for ourselves as well by singing this super simple tune by Amy Steinberg called Love, Sweet Love. Free to join me. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. And that's it. Here we go. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. So let us feel this love that is surrounding us, knowing that all of that love is part and parcel of the love that we are. The love, the joy, the gratitude, all the things, all the feelings, all the states of being, all the aspects of this incredible, amazing spiritual experience we call life. And so as we move through the rest of our time together today, as we venture out into the world, I am so deeply grateful and just feel so appreciative for the opportunity to come together in spirit, to champion the love, the creativity, the awesomeness, the infinite potentiality that we all are, knowing that as we open up and surrender, there is this opportunity to just shower that love and dynamism out into the world. And so as we consciously choose to be generous of spirit, to share the love that we are with everyone and everything around us, including VTC, I am so eternally grateful. I feel so much reverence for the opportunity to give, knowing that as we give, we receive, and the more that we receive, the more that we can give. And not only is that true for us as individuals, but for this organization. And so as we all give of ourselves, however we are able, through our time, our talent, and our treasure, what a gift and a blessing it is to be in community, to support each other in being generous of the spirit that we are. So for all of the love that is present, for all of the generosity that is being embraced, I simply release my word as law, so grateful for the divine circulation of love that is present, knowing that there is always more on its way. So I release, I let go, and I bask in this beautiful, abundant flow as together we say, and so it is. surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. One more time. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love, sweet love comes through. Love, sweet love surrounds me now. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth. Love is the only truth. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Amy, for that beautiful tune. All right, so just a handful of announcements. Prayer request forms are on the table there. If you would like to have your prayer, whether it's for yourself or someone else, come into our healing circle today, then I invite you to write out a request and put it in that little butterfly box in front of the silver bowl, not in the silver bowl, so that we can bring it into our healing circle today. All right? Moving on, save the date. The 2026 VTC AGM is happening on Sunday, April 12th. That's the second Sunday in April. We are going to have a light lunch that we're going to serve just before for those who are staying. So if you are a member in good standing, and I'm seeing tons of members in the room today, your presence is essential so that we can do some business and so that we can just keep ushering VTC into a new, better, more brilliant, amazing, sustainable version of what it's turning into. Healing Circle happening today. We're going to go downstairs, okay, into the counseling room. So anyone who's staying for the Healing Circle, we're going to go downstairs so that we're not in the middle of all the hubbub of things being put away here. Thank you. Fellowship Sunday is next Sunday, so if you are attending, and gosh, I hope you do, it is an opportunity to come together and gather over a light potluck lunch. If you love food and want to bring something to share, please do. If you just like to eat and want to come and eat, please do. That's totally okay. It is about community and connection. The hospitality team is already getting ready with something delicious, I know. And so the whole point is just join us. Just come together so that we can hang out and we can amplify that love that we are together. If you want to know anything about what's happening in the sanctuary this month, please go to the events page on the website. That is where you'll find out all the details for everything. And does anybody in the community have something? Winnie does.
The School of Contemporary Music Faculty Concert is today at the Victoria Conservatory of Music. That's on Johnson, I think it's 900 Johnson. And in the Alex Goulden Hall, it's from 1:30 till 3:30 by donation.
Fantastic. And that looks like it's it. So I'm going to invite everyone who wants to please stand up. We're going to sing this lovely little tune about loving ourselves up. So you can just flip right there. And that's the lyrics right there. We're just going to keep repeating it until the band is like, yeah, we're done. So I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me.
1, 2,
All right, get your love on. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much. smiling faces, so many open hearts. Let's love each other up some more. Here we go. Myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can love you so much, so you can start loving me. One more time. I love myself so much, so I can love you so much, so you can start loving so much, so you can start loving me. Woo! Mr. Karel Roessingh on piano, Kelby MacNayr on vocals and drums, VTC Community Choir in the seats. Thank you for joining us in person, online, and thank you to everyone who served today. Thank you to our greeter, Winnie. Thank you to our greeter, Barb. Thank you to the musicians, the tech people, Glenn and Liam at the back of the room. Thank you to our board members, Mary, Linda, Sandy, myself, Carolyn, Kathy. Oh my God, so many board members. And if I'm missing someone, I apologize. But we love you, we appreciate you, and we're so glad you're here. Thank you.